right, friends, sorry about that. We are back. We are going to finish this one here. So we were in the process of even, odd, or neither. So even, odd, or neither. I just dropped my pen. So you're going to graph, and so you're going to go to your, well, you turn your calculator on. Now look, notice here that when I graphed my y equals absolute value of x and y equals an absolute value of negative x, if you'll notice in my table, they are exactly the same. Friends, this is an even function. This is an even function. They are exactly the same. So even. All right. My parent function for this is y equals the absolute value of x. Your locator point, there is no number with my x, so my x is 0, my h is 0, my k is -4. I'm going to flip down or open down, and that's because of the negative a. It's going to be compressed, and that's because a is a fraction, or a is less than 1. It's going to move down 4, and that's because of your k value. H is 0, so it moves. It does not move on the horizontal axis. So since I'm on this page, I'm going to go ahead and do number 1, part A, B, and C. So this 3 we're going to distribute to each of these terms. Power to a power, we're going to multiply. So we have 6 to the 3rd, x to the 3rd, y to the 6th. Teasing that out, it's going to give us 216 x to the 3rd, y to the 6th. And we're just going to leave it just like that. Our next one, I like to break them into different parts. So we have 34 over 16. And then we have x squared over x to the -10. And we have y to the -6 over 1. 34 over 16 reduces to 17 over 8. X, when we divide same bases, we subtract our exponents. So squared minus a -10. And then when we have a negative exponent, we actually do what? That's right, we're going to move it to the bottom and make it positive. So it's going to be 1 over y to the 6th. Putting it all together, we have 17x to the 12th on top, because right here a negative and a negative is a positive, so 2 plus 10 is 12. And then 8y to the 6th on the bottom. Last but not least, we have 8x to the 3rd, y to the, or 8x to the 3rd y, all raised to the 1/3. Again, power to a power we multiply, so it's going to be 8 to the 1/3, x to the 3rd times 1/3, and y to the 1/3. 8 to the 1/3 power is the same as saying the cubed root of 8, which a lot of you guys in class were able to remember was 2 without your calculator, which is awesome. But if you need your calculator, that's so fine too. Sorry. Pardon the yawn. Then we have x to the 3/3 or 1, and y to the 1/3. You can leave it like that, or if you want to, you are welcome to do this and do the cubed root of y. Either of these are correct and acceptable. All right, we saved the almost best for last here, friends. I'm going to go ahead and multiply out these expressions, and then we will do the completing the square. So here we have this -6. So let's handle that -6 first, and that'll be -6x plus 24 times 2x minus 5. I really like to use the boxes to multiply the generic rectangle, I should say. I call them the boxes, but it's really called the generic rectangle. And so if we put this negative 6x and the 24 on top and the 2x minus 5 on the side, negative 6x plus times positive 2 is negative 12x squared. 2x times 24 is 48x. Negative 6x times 5 is positive 30x, and negative 5 times 24, I think it's 120. Negative 120. Then we're going to add our like terms. Our like terms are going to be 30x and 48x to give us negative 12x squared plus 78x minus 120. All right. Next one we have over here. This one you have to be a little careful for a couple of reasons, but the first main reason is that our 2x is actually 2x squared, and that's not something that we normally do. We normally do an x times an x in the first one. So just watch that x squared there. And then we have a negative 3x and positive 7. So 2x squared times negative 3x is negative 6x cubed. Negative 3x times negative 1 is positive 3x. 2x squared times 7 is 14x squared. And 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. Now, like the last one, we were able to reduce. Because we have an x cubed and an x, there, are no terms that we can reduce in this problem. And so, my answer is negative 6x cubed plus 14x squared plus 3x, sorry, I have to cough, minus 7. All right, next one. All right, so this is going to be a 2 by 3 box. 2 by 3, or I'm sorry, a rectangle. I should use the correct terminology. 2 by 3, and we have negative 2x plus 3, and 3x squared, 4x, and negative 4. So 3x squared times negative 2x is negative 6x cubed. Negative 2x times 4x is negative 8x squared. Negative 2x times negative 4 is positive 8x. 3 times 3 is 9, 10, and then we have the x squared, so 9x squared. 3 times 4x is 12x. And 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. We do have some terms we can reduce, so we've got these x squareds we can reduce, and we have these x's that we can reduce, bringing our answer to 6x cubed plus 1x squared plus 20x minus 12. And last but not least, we have a difference of perfect squares times x minus 3. Even though it's a difference of perfect squares, guess what, guys? It's still a 2 by 2 generic rectangle. X squared minus 36, x minus 3. X times x is x cubed. I'm sorry, x times x squared is x cubed minus 36x minus 3x squared plus 108. I know it's 108 because a sweet student reminded me that 36 times 3 is not 102, as I had written it on my answer key at the very beginning. So I apologize for that mistake. X cubed minus 3x squared minus 36x plus 108 is your final answer. Last but not least, I know you guys are super excited about these complete the square problems, so let's get to them. First and foremost, we have a 2 as our a value, so we're going to divide this whole thing by 2, and that's going to leave me with y divided by 2 equals x squared plus 6x plus 1. Then we're going to complete the square whichever way you want to. I like this x squared here we're gonna put 3 x's here and 3 x's here, which is gonna need 9 ones to complete my square. If I add 9 here, I must subtract 9 here. And that's gonna leave me with y over 2 equals x plus 3 squared minus 8. Oh, I am not done. I need to multiply everything by 2. So the 2 gets multiplied here, and the 2 gets multiplied here. Leaving me, I'll actually write it over here, y equals, oh, and right here, the 2's actually cancel. So y equals 2 times x plus 3 squared minus 16. And if you guys will notice, our a value stayed the same. All right. Next one, you guys might go, Miss Gornson, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. This isn't even in the middle, but our process is still the same. X squared, but instead of an even split, it's still going to be an even split. It's just going to give us a decimal. Minus 4.5x. We're going to split that 9 in half. Minus 4.5x. And then to get our ones, we're just simply going to do 4.5 times 4.5, which is going to give me 2025. If I add 2025 here, I have to subtract it from my 7. And that's going to leave me with y equals x minus 4.5 squared. And then 7 minus 2025 is 13.25. And that's my answer. I'm going to go ahead and do D because my camera is focused on it. And it's another one of those middles that is not even. So we have x squared in our first box, and then we're going to split that 7x in half, so 3.5x. And then in this one, 3.5x. And then to complete this, 3.5 times 3.5 is 12.25. So if I add 12.25 here, I have to subtract 12.25 here. And so 1 minus 12.25 is, yes, you guessed it, negative 11.25. So writing it all out, we have y equals x plus 3.5, all squared, minus 11.25. Last but not least, it's our last problem. Are you excited? I'm excited because you know why? That means that I get to go home at 4:49. Well, 4:50. And you might say, but Miss Gornson, you're not done with the problem yet. You're right, I'm not done. So let's divide by 3. And we have y over 3 equals x squared minus 4x plus 5. Now we're going to complete that square just like normal. X squared, 2x, 2x. 2 times 2 is positive 4. If I add 4 there, I'm going to subtract 4 here. And my next step is going to be y over 3 equals x plus 2 all squared plus 1. But we're not done yet. What's our last step? You guessed it. We have to multiply that 3 back in to each part. Now it's going to cancel here. I'm going to write my answer over here again. So it's going to be y equals... Oh, I messed up. Oh no, oh no. I knew this was wrong. I am so sorry, friends. You know what? That's what I get for telling myself that it's the last problem and I get to go home and that I get to write in pen. I am so, so sorry. So forget everything you just heard. And if you're using pen like me, grab your whiteout. If you're using pencil like a smart person, go ahead and erase everything. Oh no, my whiteouts ended too. Oh dear, it's fine. I have a backup. It's not pretty. It's not as pretty as my pink one, but that's okay. Oh goodness, I can't believe I just did that. Silly me. Okay. What did I forget? You might say, Miss Goranson, I was tracking, it was fine. Or you might have been like, no, Miss Goranson, you were wrong right in the beginning. What did I forget? Guys, look at my A. My A isn't 3, my A is -3. So I have to divide everything by -3. So y divided by -3 equals x squared plus 4x minus 5. X squared plus 4x minus 5. Oh me. Oh me, oh me. Then everything else is about the same. We're going to complete the square. We have x squared there. We have 2x here and 2x here. And then we're going to add 4. If I add 4 to complete the square, I have to subtract 4 from my 1's. And so I'm left with y over -3 equals x plus 2 squared minus 9. But we're not done. We have to multiply that -3 to everything. So that's going to cancel. This is going to be -3, and this is going to be times -3. And so over here, I'm left with y equals -3 times x plus 2 squared plus 27. Because -3 times -9, right here, -3 times -9 is a positive 27.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got too far.
All right. So sorry about that confusion and that little bit of a whiteout snafu. Remember to box your answers because they can kind of get lost in all of our pink, if you will. So we'll box all these. That was more of like a circle, but that's okay. Okay. All right. Give me that paper, please.
You must not be doing enough push-ups anymore and start doing and watching TV all day.
I'm just gonna check my signs really quick, friends. This is not the first time I've done this today. I've done this many times today. Oh gosh. Goodness. 13.5, 3.5, -3, positive 27. All right, that side looks good. I just want to double check all my answers. I don't trust myself now before you guys go, because I do not want to send you on your way with the wrong or incorrect information. That's good. All right, 216x cubed, y to the 6th. 17 over 8, x to the 12th, y to the 6th. 2x, y to the 1/3, or the cubed root of y. X to the 4th, 7, flip down, move right, up 7, faces down, neither. Opposite value, 0, -4, flip down, vertically compressed, moves down 4, and even. And we are good, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you guys that are watching on my super fun, super cool YouTube channel where all you see is my terrible manicure, but my fun pens. And you hear my lovely voice. Have a wonderful night. Get some rest. That is the best way to study, is to actually be well rested and well fed. So also, besides getting rest, please make sure that you guys eat something for breakfast that is not a donut, like preferably some protein, a smoothie, some OJ, I am done. Have a great night, guys. And look, it's not 4:50, but it's 4:56. So even with my mistake, I wasn't terrible. Have a good night, guys.